In today's video, we're going to be reacting to the latest strange and more questionable clips that I could find on TikTok. Let's get into it.
These videos come so few and far in between, but when they do come, they instantly go viral, and there's a specific reason for it, and that all centers around Bigfoot. This footage was captured by a man named Kyle Campbell on around November 24th. He was parked on a logging road near Bella Bella in the central coast of BC, Canada, when he saw something at the corner of his eye and thankfully started recording. And what he captures may be some clear footage of an actual Bigfoot. Take a look at this video, comment below, tell me what you think.
Way too difficult to really tell, but if I was to take a guess, probably a bear. Some clear footage we have.
What if you are the only person on Earth? You, I'm talking to you, this one person watching this video right now, I mean you. I'm not people in the comments of this video aren't real, your family isn't real, only you are. This is one of the most messed up theories. It's known as solipsism, and it's kind of like a belief sort of hypothesis. The craziest thing by far about solipsism, though, is that you physically cannot disprove it. You cannot disprove it, ever. You can see that right there, because if it was all in your mind, who's going to disprove it? You can't disprove that. The theory is pretty self-explanatory. It is that you are completely alone and everything else is being conjured up in your head so you don't feel as alone. Maybe you are in some kind of simulation and everything is just a complete optical illusion that your brain is conjuring up. Or maybe you survived a nuclear apocalypse, the end of the world, you're the only person left and you're making all of this up so you don't feel so lonely. We know that the brain is an impeccable part of the body, like it can do some absolutely insane things. Think about lucid dreams, that you imagine things that are real, they're not actually happening though. It is hypothetically possible that your brain could conjure up a whole existence and make it feel real even when it's not. People have done that when they're in comas before. But whether you believe it or not, the scary part about the theory is that you can never prove it or disprove it. Like, we will never, ever know.
I have heard about solipsism now a few times, and I don't necessarily buy it. Because if it was true and you were the only real mind in existence, or if the entire universe is your dream under solipsism, then why is there things that annoy you in your day-to-day life or just bad habits that really aggravate you? Why would your brain create someone that would disagree with you and not just have everyone that walks your way compliment you? And gosh darn it, why did you create the IRS? Was taxes really necessary? You need to wake up. But let me know what you guys think about solipsism. I personally, again, I don't really believe in it, but I would really like to hear your side of the story if you do.
There are people who remember entire towns that don't appear on any map, not old ones, not digital ones, not even historical records. There's a disturbing phenomenon called the memory gaps in maps, and if it's true, then there are entire places on Earth that were erased without anyone noticing. It usually starts the same way. Someone tries driving to a town they swear they've been to before. They remember the streets, the buildings, even the smell of the place. But when they search it online, nothing. No photos, no history, no map data. It's like the town never existed. One man in North Carolina said he grew up visiting a tiny mountain town called Rose Hollow. He remembers the diner on the corner. He remembers the rusty water tower. He even remembers getting lost near the old church with the red door. But here's the problem. There's never been a town called Rose Hollow in that entire region. Old maps, nothing. County records, nothing. Locals, they say the area he described is just forest and has always been a forest. And here's where it gets eerie. Everyone who reports this phenomenon remembers the same features. A water tower, a single diner, a church, one main street, and a small population. It's like they all visited the same forgotten place. Some people think these towns weren't erased. They were never meant to exist in this timeline, and our memories come from a version of reality where they did exist. Others think these towns exist in the in-between, slipping in and out of our world like bad rendering. But the darkest theory, these places are still out there, just not accessible by normal roads anymore. People say if you drive long enough, far enough, and ignore your GPS, you'll eventually reach a place the maps forgot. Stay weird.
This really reminds me of when I was a kid. I cannot for the life of me remember the name of the town, but it was a really small town. And there was a diner there that my mom would take me to. And I want to say it's in Virginia, but I really cannot remember. But what I do remember is this diner put beef gravy on their French fries, and it was delicious. That's really all I had to say about this. Hey, if you haven't done so already and you're enjoying the show, give it a like. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. I upload a video like this every Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. And for everyone that's watching and or subscribed, thank you so much for supporting the channel.
This guy, Peter Layden, is a longtime tech expert and thought leader on the future, predicting technology of like the advancement and stuff. He believes within the years 2025 to 2050, at one point, we will have a global governance.
Oh boy.
Primarily ran by AI.
Oh my gosh, Jesus, come back.
He broke down the 80-year cycle and he laid it out. He's saying 2025 is actually the beginning of this new cycle of technology. And he thinks it's going to be a crazy development in AI, clean energy, and bioengineering. And he broke it down. And he's like, the old tradition of capitalism is not really working.
Right.
It's starting to be outweighed. Yeah. And there's a lot of people protesting, like the gap between poor and wealthy is separating even more and more. Right. So he said, I think with AI, with all this stuff, it's going to flip it. He's like, yeah, I do see a global governance system so where it's like more of a overarching one world governance system ran by AI.
This just seems more realistic every single day.
I know.
Is the AI gonna try to kill us all?
Yeah.
We'll see about that. I personally believe that there's way too many people that want to have control and power over states and countries. And sure, they could manipulate AI in their favor to do so, but I really think that these people want to be the face of that nation for the most part. Plus, if they decide to put this AI as a one governmental entity, and the AI actually has the ability to think for itself and make plans and moves, then it would probably terminate itself because it's so expensive to upkeep. How can it make the world a better financial place if in itself is hogging up almost all of its financials?
She was knocking on her own coffin before she got cremated. This is a brand new story which has just broke the news, and it's wild. There is a 65-year-old woman from Thailand who was allegedly bedridden for 2 years. Her brother said she became totally unresponsive to the point where she wasn't breathing, but they left her for 2 days simply because they couldn't afford to get her cremated. They then heard about this temple that offers free cremations, so he decided to build his sister a coffin, a DIY coffin, put her in it, put the coffin in the car, and drive 300 miles to this temple. So when he arrived, obviously the staff at the temple came out and helped transport the coffin. It was at that moment that one of the temple staff said, hang on a minute, the coffin's moving. They then all heard knocking. So they opened the coffin. They opened the coffin to find the 65-year-old woman in a fetal position with her eyes half open, just knocking on the side. She was then immediately put in an ambulance and taken to the local hospital and is still receiving care. But what a horror story. Literally, my worst fear is either waking up in a coffin or waking up in the morgue.
That would be an absolute horrible fate. And it's a real shame. 65's really not that old. Thank goodness she had enough strength to be heard.
It's been a long day, but I wanted to leave you with something to learn, so you should know that rats are snatching bats out of midair and eating them, and this is the first time that we've ever seen this happen. You are free to feel how you will about bats. I personally am actually a little bit afraid of them, specifically because of the whole rabies thing, but they really are an important part of the ecosystem. They eat insects, and flying insects can cause diseases. They also pollinate. They've been on the decline for the last decade or so. A lot of that is habitat loss. Some of it is because of conditions like white-nosed bat that ends up decimating their populations. We just didn't know that rats were also eating them. I understand that a lot of people like rats. I respect that, even if I haven't really gotten over the whole Middle Ages thing. I know, human lice was responsible for that thing. At least some new research shows that it took a big part in it. But rats also decimate populations of wild animals worldwide. Finding out that they also have it out for our little bat friends is both Surprising, somewhat impressive, and also deeply concerning, not just for the bat populations, but also because these two animals coming in contact with each other could spread things between each other that we do not want spread. So I do have to ask, do you find rats or bats adorable? While I do fear bats, they are pretty adorable. I respect rats, but I fear them as well. How about you? Follow for more.
Honestly, that's really no surprise. On farmland, I've seen big old wolf rats carrying snakes around. And I wouldn't be surprised if squirrels also catch and eat bats as well. And as far as finding them cute, not really.
What if I told you we may also have been lied to about why there are tides? And I'm sure you're probably thinking there's no possible reason that there'd ever be justification to lie about why the tidal currents occur. But after watching this video, I can guarantee it will start making sense. Now, according to the official academia, including McGraw-Hill, the textbooks we all studied from in school, the way the tide works, McGraw-Hill, by the way, is owned by Pergamon Press, which is called Satan's Throne in a biblical translation, and it's owned by Robert Maxwell, which is Ghislaine Maxwell's father, but we'll save that for another video. According to the official story, tides are caused by the moon's gravitational pull. Now, despite the moon having many phases, the tides are entirely consistent. Every day, there are tides coming in and out. Even if the moon is not out, if it's a full moon, or if it's a sliver toenail moon, doesn't affect, the tides are tiding no matter what. But if the moon's gravitational field is what causes tides, then how come in the Mediterranean Sea, the Black Sea, the Caspian Sea, and other massive lakes, like the Great Lakes, there are no tides? You'd think such a massive ocean would have tides, significant, similar to the big oceans. But that's not the case. Why? This is where it gets a little bit shocking. According to ancient civilizations, who all believed the Earth to be quite a different shape than what NASA claims it is, there is said to be at the North Pole, which we can't go to, a gigantic mountain called Mount Meru, also known as Black Rock. It is a giant magnetic mountain, apparently. And there's said to be 4 rivers coming out of it. Notice also the 4 quadrants here. You have the Microsoft logo, which is also 4 quadrants. We have many corporate logos depicting 4 quadrants, perhaps in reference to this. We know they like to hide things in plain sight. But what they believed is that there is a vortex energy field at the center of the known Earth, in their mind, which pulls the water in and pushes it out, pumping like a heartbeat, using electromagnetism, and the salinity in the ocean, of course, is highly conductive. And what adds credence to this, some of the roughest oceans in the world are closest to the North Pole, where the source of this pulling and pushing force would be, like the Bering Sea, which is the most violent sea there is. Lastly, I will say, Nikola Tesla believed gravity to be a shaky theory at best, and he believed the world ran on electromagnetism and relativity, not gravity. Now, if you want to see me live discuss this in detail on my Rumble channel, just comment the word Rumble below and I'll send you a link to it.
This is full-blown Satanism and ball worship right in our face. It seems like every day, week, or month, they're doing a parade, what they call a parade, so they can throw these things right in front of our face. This is obviously Baal, which is also Moloch. But that's not all. They have the BAPH one as well. And they actually show that Baal is literally a fallen angel, which I'll show you in 1 second. This was the flyer for this. Look how obviously satanic this is. Look over here. Obviously this has to do with spiritualism, the Bible, angels, and whatnot. And this angel right here with that little halo, that's a Statue of Liberty, Apollyon, or Abaddon. Lucifer. Now here is the bull with literal wings showing you he's a fallen angel. I gotta block out part of this one, but you can see it breathing fire. How descriptive. And of course, Baal worship is everywhere around the world. New York, 2022 Commonwealth Games, and really all over the industry completely. If you don't know, Baal was the ancient Canaanite god for a certain kind of ritual. But as time progressed, Baal started being called Moloch, symbolized by the owl, but neither the bull or the owl is what Baal actually looks like. And would you believe it, this is the same exact deity above my head, really popularized by the Knight Templar. As time progresses in this world, it really doesn't mind me with all the chaos and disasters going on in the world.
I looked up this Garden of the Temple. It's actually an urban opera show. There's a lot of work that goes into this. The cinematography is on point. The animatronics are really disturbing looking, and it does have a very sinister tone to it. I'm really impressed on all the work that they put into those animatronics. And the filming behind the opera is pretty impressive as well. But it really does give off this sinister vibe. I'm pretty certain that's intentional, and I always find it odd that they go this route instead of using other holy figures, and I'm sure there is places where they do it, but to this extent, where it's this awesome, they should probably do that more. Get people more interested in the good side of religion. That's what I think, at least. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and end today's video. I'm really sorry on how short today's video was. There just really wasn't much content going on, but at least I'm here. Hopefully you enjoyed what you watched. And as always, I want to thank you guys for watching these clips with me. If today's your birthday, happy birthday, and if not, have a good day anyways.